What is up, Cobra Kai fans? Welcome back to the channel for an all-new Cobra Kai Season 6 news-filled breakdown-related video. At long last, the first 8 minutes of Part 3 have been released, or should I say, officially released. As many of you fans know, leaks have been going completely rampant on social media when it comes to Part 3, and the first 8 minutes were no exception. But now that it's been officially released, we can finally talk about it. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into this thing. We immediately start off with an opening shot of Kreese with the Miyagi-Do, and he's back in South Korea already. He asks Sensei Kim if it's time, and she replies with soon, and they're of course talking about Kwan's funeral. And to my surprise, Kreese actually blames himself for something for once. It seems like he's taking the entire responsibility of Kwan's death onto himself. But Sensei Kim disagrees and says that it's everyone's fault. And right off the bat, I'm not really a big fan of them immediately cutting to Kreese, Kim, and the rest of the students back in South Korea already. I kind of wish we could have seen a little bit of an immediate reaction, or shortly after the events that happened at the Seikai Taikai. I would have liked to see what happened shortly after that. But because there's only 5 episodes left to wrap everything up, I can get past it. We then also see a panning outward shot of Kwan's casket with his gi and his Seikai Taikai captain headband. This is a very dark shot in my opinion, and never did I think that we would ever get to this degree of darkness in Cobra Kai. But here we are, and I'm all for it, to be honest. Something interesting that I found about this scene is that Kreese asks Sensei Kim about Kwan's family, and Sensei Kim responds with, he didn't have one. He grew up in the dojang. That dojang raised him. It's actually kind of sad, and it kind of makes sense why Kwan was becoming a raging psychopath, because all he knew was karate, and Master Kim's karate. And without any family stability and just that crazy ruthlessness of Master Kim and his teachings, that's a recipe for disaster right there. As we're going back and forth between the dialogue from Kim and Kreese in the hut and outside with the casket, we pan to see the man himself, old man Master Kim, and Sensei Kim says, sooner or later, will have to face grandfather's consequences. We then see a very ominous Master Kim with the slow-mo walk with the torches surrounding him. It is kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie, but it only gets creepier. He then instructs one of his own students to light Kwan's casket on fire as a form of like a ritual or like in remembrance type thing. It's creepy, but it's on par with everything Master Kim stands for in his dojo, so I ain't complaining. We then get a sudden cut to West Valley High and a mark of 1 month later since the events of Part 2. And we're in the guidance counselor's office with Counselor Blatt, Johnny, Carmen, Robby, Shannon, and her new boyfriend. And they're talking about Robby's future opportunities and what that could entail for him. Counselor Blatt tells the crew that it's going to be tight for Robby to graduate as it is, and that college most likely is not going to be in the cards for Robby. She's also a little bit harsh in saying that Robby's unlikely to go pro in karate, even though he was on the world stage for a karate tournament. And she's somehow comparing it to talking to other students in the past about growing pro in like football, which is only at a national level, whereas Robby was, like I said, competing on a world global level. And Johnny does not like the sound of that at all. You love to see it though, because Johnny's actually supporting his son and showing that he cares, even though he was about to fight Counselor Blatt a little bit, and Robby and Carmen had to hold him back. Counselor Blatt then offers the notion that maybe it would be in Robby's best interest to look into a trade school. And of course, on one of the brochures that she offered him, there's a striking resemblance to one of the people working on a gutter to his own father of Johnny, and we know how that turned out for him. So that right there is not giving Robby the best confidence he needs now that the tournament is off at this point to really think about his future. We then cut to LaRusso Auto, and it seems like they're trying to cover as much ground as they can in these opening 8 minutes, and it does feel a little bit rushed, I'm not gonna lie. But we see Louie and Anush talking, and they are noticing a lot of things that are off with Daniel. From what they're seeing, it's looking like the whole Barcelona thing never happened. And Louis points it out right away that he thinks there's deeply something wrong with his cousin. Daniel makes a sale on a car, and he walks up to Anush and Louis asks if he wants to get the customer a bonsai because she just purchased a car, and Daniel makes a wild statement saying that they're moving away from bonsais. They're trying to ditch the whole karate marketing scheme that they had put in place from the beginning, which is shocking because we know how much Mr. Miyagi and karate means to Daniel, given the current current state of things, however, with learning that Mr. Miyagi killed his opponent in the Sekai Taikai, and then with the events of a current student dying in the tournament that they were competing in, it kind of makes sense that Daniel is gonna be burying a lot of this grief that he's harboring. Daniel wants to move things back to the old days before karate took over. We also got a little bit of a tease of what we can expect for Samantha's future, as the person that Daniel sold a car to just now works in admissions at UCLA, and that he thinks that Sam has a good shot at getting in. Daniel also makes it a point to Amanda that they're focused on being safe and happy right now, given all that's happened. But we'll see how long that's gonna last for. We then cut to some unknown tropical location. Like I said, they're covering almost all the bases here in these opening 8 minutes. But we see Gunther from the Sekai Taikai getting a massage until he's very rudely interrupted by the one and only Terry Silver. This is probably right here my favorite interaction scene, whatever you want to call it, in these opening 8 minutes. And it's pretty simple. Gunther did not want to be found at all. Terry Silver wants something, and that thing that he wants is for the tournament to continue so he can rightfully claim victory over Daniel, Johnny, and Chozen and the rest of Miyagi-Do. Gunther is very hesitant on the tournament returning because, you know, a kid did die. But Terry makes a great point by saying that the tournament ending on his watch would not be a good look, and Gunther takes that to heart because he takes the Sekai Taikai very seriously. Terry continues on by saying that they're going to honor Kwan's memory, not bury it away in the past. Continuing and finishing the tournament is going to be a way to celebrate his life. And that was pretty much all Gunther needed to hear to be fully back on board. The only thing left, however, is to get all of the senseis and students back on to re-continue the tournament. And judging by the look on Terry's face, it looks like he's kind of worried if that could actually be possible. But with Terry Silver, anything is possible in this damn show. And we all know from countless bits of footage from recent trailers and such that the Sekai Taikai is definitely coming back, and it's coming back to the Valley. How that's gonna happen and turn out, we're just gonna have to wait and see. We then cut back to close out these first 8 minutes of part 3 with Sensei Kim and Kreese once again in Korea, and they're talking about how the tournament continue if everyone agrees. And Kreese seems a little hesitant, and rightfully so. Kim then says that they don't have to decide right now and that they can discuss it, but then they're rudely interrupted by Master Kim, and he says that there's no discussion. He feels that his dojo has been embarrassed, and that they will return to the tournament, and they will avenge their student, because his whole reasoning behind it is that they took one of our students, so we're gonna take one of theirs, which is just truly psychotic way of thinking by Master Kim here. But I hate to cut it short, guys, but that's it for the first 8 minutes. Just when it was starting to get juicy and good, it was cut short, and we're just gonna have to wait just a couple more days to find out how the greatest karate saga is gonna end. But guys, that's gonna do it for this little breakdown video on the first 8 minutes of Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 3. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments section, what did you think of these first 8 minutes? Also, how have you been doing trying to navigate the crazy amount of spoilers that have been out there on the internet? Let's just hope you've been doing a better job than I have. But one more thing before I let you guys go, you can always be sure that I'm never going to be sharing any leaks or spoilers intentionally on Strike First Media. This is a safe space for all of you guys who want to head into this season spoiler free. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. No mercy.